Hello, Willie. I'm so glad that you're here. I've got a message, and I hope someday you'll hear. I've been writing songs all my life, looking for one good rhyme, and you have been my inspiration all that time. I want to take a minute to send out a different kind of video right now. I want to talk a little bit about Willie Nelson and how much he's meant to me. And I hope you'll let me do that. You know, just yesterday I was teaching my guitar student John how to play Nightlife. And today my wife told me it's Willie's 88th birthday. And I thought of all these years I've wanted to say thank you and send something out to let Willie know how much he's meant to me. And I figured, here's my chance. So let me tell this story if you'll let me. I was your typical rebellious high school kid when my dad and I finally agreed on one thing. We decided to take our money, chip in, and buy an album together. And we bought this album, Red-Headed Stranger. It was the first time he and I had agreed on anything. And I became a Willie Nelson fan. I've been writing songs forever, but when I heard Willie's songs, I had my first songwriting lesson. You know, I believe writing a song that's pure, and I don't say simple, but pure and direct and honest, the way Willie has again and again and again, is really hard and is a real art. And all these years I've been writing songs, I have always held that standard up when I sit down with the guitar and try to write something. After high school, many years later, when I was in college, I spent a couple of weeks one summer traveling around Massachusetts with Jerry Jeff Walker and his crew, which is a whole other story. But one day I was backstage at a Willie Nelson concert, and I was standing outside when Willie's bus pulled up and stopped, and the door opened, and I took a few steps, and there I was, and there Willie came walking down, and there we were, and I introduced myself. I said, "Hey, I'm Luke Nelson, and I know you're really busy, but I've got this old violin, and I'm wondering if after the concert, if you have just a minute, I'd love to get you to sign it." And he said, "Sure." And then he went to work. And I went inside and watched the concert from backstage because I knew some of the crew. And after the show, went out to the car, got my violin, went back in, and tried to find where I thought they might be, and went to a door and knocked on the door, and the door opened, and there stood this guy about 7.5 feet tall and said, "What do you want?" And I said, "I'd like to see Willie Nelson." He said, "No guests." And he slammed the door. And that was it. And I walked away pretty sad and kind of terrified. And I was halfway back to my car, and I thought, wait a minute. Here I am. I've got my fiddle. There's Willie. I'm going to try again. So I turned around and I went back in and walked up to that door. And this time, with all my youthful arrogance and ignorance, I just opened it. And sure enough, as soon as I opened the door, there was that guy across the room, and he got up and he starts coming at me. But there was Willie, and he saw me too. And he yells out, "Hey, Luke, got that fiddle?" So the guy turns around and he sits down. And I went in and hung out with Willie. I remember there was a piano in there. Somebody was playing the piano. And yeah, sure enough, he signed my fiddle. That fiddle right now, by the way, I think is somewhere in New Jersey. Got stolen out of my Jersey City apartment. So if you're the one that stole my fiddle and you wonder if that is actually Willie Nelson's signature on the back, the answer is yeah, it is. Along with Paul English and some other signatures. I got to tell Willie I was a songwriter. He liked my name, Luke. And I just hung out with the band for a while. And it was such a great night. And Willie even got that guy to take our picture. Yes, I had curly hair. Well, after that, I moved to Chicago after that. Had a band out there called Luke and the Cool Hands. We sang mostly my songs, and I continued writing. At some point, decided to be a music teacher instead, and I moved back to Connecticut, but kept writing. I still write. I put some music out here and there. At some point, I think I've written over 1,000 songs, and 10 or 12 of them are actually pretty good. But now and then I'll write a song and think, gee, I wish Willie could hear that one. But, you know, things happen the way they do, and it's true, funny how time does slip away. But I want to take this time to say happy birthday, Willie, and thank you. And you were there for me as a role model, but also as one of the kindest people I ever met. So happy birthday. I'll see you around.